Hey y'all, I'm making this video today because once again I was put in a position by Kellogg's Memphis plant to either come to work and perform a job that has injured me. I've been injured on three separate occasions because they refused to properly fix the equipment or update the equipment, and Um, I was sent back to work full duty 3 times by a workman comp doctor, Dr. Cannon, before my MRI result came back. So they basically didn't believe that I was injured to the extent that I was injured. So they sent me back to work 3 times full duty. And when the MRI result came back, it shown I had a torn rotator cuff with impingement and um, other stuff going on with it. So um, I refused to go back to that doctor, and it took a while to get a new doctor. So I finally got a new doctor, Dr. Delabach, and he's been a pretty good doctor. I can't say anything bad about him. But I was recently I was doing physical therapy. Then they switched my physical therapy to what's called work hardening. So work hardening is a little bit more intense. It's supposed to be getting you ready to get back to work, but um, due to my injury, I couldn't perform the work hardening. It was too much wear and tear on the shoulder. So Dr. Delabach decided, well, your job is less strenuous than the work hardening, so we're going to just try and send you back to full duty and follow up in a couple of weeks. So um, I've submitted 88 paperwork to Kellogg's to request a job assignment because I have anxiety and panic attacks even thinking about going back to this job that I was injured in 3 times and had to um, work with a torn rotator cuff or risk losing my job. Now I'm back in that same position again. Kellogg is putting me in. Either I go back to that job, perform that job, or I lose everything. I can't pay my mortgage. I can't pay my bills. I can't pay my daughter's tuition for school. So um, I literally had a panic attack when I got off the phone with HR a little while ago, dreading the fact that I have to go back to this job because they tell me that I have to go back to that job and I can bid into another job, but I'm not senior, so there's no guarantee that I get another job. So basically, they know due to their negligence, I've been injured 3 times on that job, and they're still forcing me to go back to that job. So uh, I have problems with mood disorders, depression, anxiety, panic attacks, and I'm not in a good place right now. So I'm doing this video because mental health is real, and coupled with the fact that I was seriously injured 3 times performing this job, and then Kellogg's is just so heartless that they would tell me you have to go back to this job. You know, so I just wanted to make this video to make you guys aware of what's going on with your breakfast cereal and how they treat their employers. There's employers how they treat their employees. There's employees there that have been injured and they try to make them go see their own doctors because they don't want to report their injury and send them to workman comp doctors. They're literally covering up injuries in the plant. They have for the longest time they have propane tanks that are defective that shoot propane gas everywhere. Um, when you go change a propane tank on a forklift, and and this is the job that they're forcing me to go back to. So now I have to be subjected to the same job. I was injured 3 times, and then I have to deal with the fact that I have to get propane gas shot all over me every time I go change a propane tank. Um, so it's just hard, y'all. So I just want the nation and the world to know what your breakfast cereal maker is up to with its employees. So y'all pray for me. Like I say, I'm having real bad anxiety and panic attacks, even just thinking about going back into the job, which I have to go back into today because basically they put me in a position. They say you can stay out and wait on your ADA accommodations, or you got to come back to this job. So if I stay out, I don't get paid, and if I don't get paid, my bills don't get paid, my mortgage don't get paid. My daughter's school tuition doesn't get paid. So they're they're putting me in a real bind, a damned if you do or damned if you don't situation, and they don't care. They just dead heartless. So I just wanted to make this video, um, and hopefully, you know, if I have to be the sacrifice, because I really believe Kellogg will retaliate because one of the managers had already threatened me, and I I haven't heard any resolution between by one of the managers threatening me. When I first was injured, because they didn't take kindly to me not being able to perform a job, and the replacements were upset that they had to step in for me. So one of the managers threatened me one day, and I reported him, and I still haven't heard a resolution from that. Nobody called me and say, "Hey, this is the steps we're going to take," and you know, so there's a lot going on with Kellogg in Memphis that needs to be addressed. There's a lot of safety issues, so I'm going to contact OSHA because I'm afraid for my safety in my life because you're basically putting me in a position where I could potentially mess myself up for life and not be able to take care of my family because you're so heartless and cold hearted, that you're gonna put your production over my safety. So I just want y'all to know. And my rotator cuff is still torn. We might have to do surgery on it. But the doctor, he just said we're going to see because they say your work requirement are less strenuous than work hardening. Work hardening is like you're at, you're lifting weights, and that's too much on my shoulder. With a torn rotator cuff, doing too much. So we're going to see how it turns out. But I just want to stop and make this video because I'm not going to lie. I'm afraid. I'm having panic attacks. So we're going to see how it turns out.